Welcome to The Explainer. You know, in the world of college football, an entire championship dream can just vanish in a single bizarre moment. Today, we're going to break down that stunning Sugar Bowl upset, the one that saw Georgia's hopes get completely dashed, all because of one very strange, game-changing misfire.
And it all starts with this number right here, 75. For 75 straight games, if the Georgia Bulldogs had a lead going into the fourth quarter, they won, period. It was the longest streak of its kind in the nation, a symbol of just how dominant they were. Well, until now.
So, the final score tells you what happened, but it doesn't even begin to tell you how it all went down. And to really get that, we need to zoom way in on one of the most critical and frankly confusing moments of the entire college football season.
All right, so let's set the scene for this thing. We're talking about the pivotal fourth down. This is the exact moment in the game where everything, strategy, communication, execution, had to be perfect. And, well, Georgia delivered the complete opposite.
I mean, the stakes just could not have been higher. You're looking at 4th and 2, but you're on your own 33-yard line. That is dangerous, dangerous territory. And to make it all worse, Georgia had just blown a 10-point lead in the second half, and you could just feel all the momentum swinging over to Ole Miss.
So how did such a routine-looking situation just blow up into a total disaster? Well, it all came down to a play that Georgia never, ever intended to run. What was supposed to be a clever little bit of strategy turned into an absolute catastrophe.
Okay, so this slide breaks down exactly how this simple plan just completely unraveled. It starts off safe enough, right? Send out the punt team. But then there's an injury timeout, and Coach Kirby Smart gets an idea. He sends the offense back out there, but, and this is key, they're not supposed to run a play. The goal is just to trick Ole Miss, get them to jump off sides. Plan B, just take a penalty, then punt. It's low risk. But then, the unthinkable happens. The center snaps the ball to a quarterback who has no idea it's coming, leaving him totally exposed to a defender who is charging right at him.
And this slide right here perfectly captures that massive, massive gap between what Georgia wanted to do and what actually happened. I mean, the plan was simple, low risk. Maybe you get a free first down. The reality was a total communication breakdown that basically just handed the ball and all the momentum right over to Ole Miss. It was an absolute worst-case scenario.
So after a blunder that big, in a game with playoff implications, you have to ask, who's to blame? The finger-pointing could have started right away, but to their credit, Georgia's leadership stepped up.
Head coach Kirby Smart, he didn't even hesitate. In the press conference after the game, he took full responsibility. He made it super clear this wasn't on the players. He called it a coaching and communication breakdown, a misfire that just never should have happened.
But then you look at it from the Ole Miss side, and things were a whole lot simpler. Defensive lineman Prince Will Human-Mielon, he wasn't trying to figure out Georgia's complex plan. For him, it was just pure football instinct. See the ball, go get the ball. And just like that, he made the play that changed the entire game.
And the consequences were immediate and they were severe. You can see it on this chart. The Ole Miss lead jumped from just 3 points all the way to 10. It only took them 2 plays to get a touchdown after that turnover, leaving Georgia with just 9 minutes on the clock to try and overcome a 2-score deficit.
So look, that one play was a total disaster, a clear turning point. But was it the only reason Georgia lost? As you'd probably expect in a game at this level, the full story, it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah, when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it's clear other things were at play. Georgia's defense, which is usually a brick wall, gave up almost 500 yards. And what's really amazing is that even after that catastrophic mistake, Georgia's offense somehow clawed their way back and tied the game. That fumble didn't lose the game all on its own. It was a clutch 40-yard pass from the Ole Miss QB in the final minutes that really sealed the deal. So this wasn't a one-mistake game.
And in the end, Coach Smart himself admitted it wasn't just about that one misfire. His final take was pretty simple and direct. On that day, in that stadium, Ole Miss was just the better team. They made the big plays when it really counted.
So it leaves us with this fascinating question that really defines high-stakes sports, right? The game was clearly about more than just one botched play, but at the same time, you just can't ignore how that single moment completely shifted the momentum, the score, and yeah, probably the final outcome. It's just a powerful reminder that an entire season of championship dreams can pivot on one single unintended snap.